Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're opening up the source material on a relational topic that causes almost universal struggle, adult friendship.
hmm
We're talking about, the difficulty of maintaining old connections, finding time for new ones, or just feeling like you have a reliable community around you.
It's the silent truth, really, that our sources hammer home right away.
Yeah.
Adult friendship is profoundly difficult.
Yeah.
If you've looked at your life recently and asked, where did all my friends go? Or maybe felt that pang of guilt because you haven't texted a long-distance friend in like 6 months.
No, definitely.
You are absolutely in the vast majority.
So our mission today is to tackle two things. First, we need to understand the structural reasons why friendships change so dramatically once we leave our early 20s.
Right.
And second, we are going to learn how to apply a powerful, almost therapeutic piece of wisdom, the let them theory.
Let them. It sounds simple, but it's deep.
Exactly. And the core promise here is that the more you let people be who they are, the less friction and disappointment you will experience in your relationships.
We have to completely reset our expectations, basically.
Right.
We must ditch that high school mentality that friendship should be constant and easy.
Okay.
And to do that, we first have to recognize the foundational shift in our lives that the sources label so perfectly, the great scattering.
The great scattering. I like that term. It's the moment friendship stops feeling like a communal group sport
Yeah, like in school.
and transitions into a difficult individual sport that requires, well, immense planning.
Exactly. Look back at childhood and adolescence.
Mhm.
Your social life was supported by this massive kind of organizational fortress.
Right. School, teams.
You had built-in proximity every single day, same school, maybe the same bus, identical milestones, same vacation schedule.
Ah.
Deep connection was easy because the structure just forced you together constantly. The expectation was set. If one friend was doing something, you were automatically included.
That structural support.
It was totally invisible until it vanished.
Completely. Then you hit your 20s and the scattering starts. Friends move for jobs, they scatter geographically, and suddenly they're on radically different timelines, some getting married, some going back to school, some traveling the world. That fortress supporting your social life, it just disintegrates.
And that disappearance of structure, it causes tremendous emotional strain, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It creates this feeling of loss of control over your entire social environment,
Yeah.
which leads straight to insecurity and honestly loneliness for a lot of people.
You try to coordinate everyone's calendars for one dinner and realize it's practically impossible.
It feels like Mission Impossible. And the old group chat slowly turns into this quiet monument to what once was.
I think everyone listening has felt that specific sting. Realizing coordinating 6 people for dinner feels like planning a major international summit.
Totally. And as the sources point out, the scattering isn't just a one-time event, it's cyclical.
It happens again when single friends partner up, when friends have children, when they move for career opportunities, maybe even divorce, and then again years later when they retire. It keeps happening.
Wow. So this is why the let them theory is so vital.
Exactly. When you understand these big structural forces at play, it allows you to kind of loosen that painful grip you might have on old expectations.
Okay.
You can start adopting flexibility and recognizing that as an adult, friendships are naturally supposed to come and go sometimes.
So if gripping onto those old expectations is the problem, how do we actually loosen our grip? The sources identify 3 fundamental factors, these invisible pillars, that dictate whether a friendship survives the scattering.
Right, and this is key. If a friendship is fading, it's rarely personal.
Yeah.
It's usually because one or more of these pillars is failing.
That realization alone could save you so much heartache.
Definitely.
Okay, so pillar 1 is proximity.
Proximity, it's just the literal physical space you share and how often you cross paths. Because, simply put, nearness is the engine of shared time.
Right, makes sense. But this isn't just common sense, though. The sources point to specific research done at the University of Kansas.
Yes, and the numbers from that study are pretty astounding. They really validate why adult friendship feels so hard to build.
Okay. Lay it on us.
So get this. To transition from just an acquaintance to, like, a casual friend, the research suggests you need to spend about 74 hours together.
74 hours, just to be casual. Wow. Okay, how much for a close, lasting connection, then?
To become a truly close friend, the research puts the marker at over 200 hours spent together.
200 hours, that sounds completely unsustainable when I'm maybe seeing my friends once a month if I'm lucky.
Right. And if you put that in context, back in high school or college, we probably clocked those 200 hours every 5 or 6 weeks.
Yeah, easily. We were constantly together. So how do people possibly bridge that massive gap as working adults?
Well, that's the thing, they often don't, not easily anyway. Because of work, that gap is only getting wider. Citing the American Time study, between the ages of, say, 21 and 60, most people spend more time with coworkers than they do with family and friends combined.
Wow, combined. Okay, so if proximity is so critical, but we spend all our time at work, that leads us directly to pillar 2, right? Because not every coworker becomes a close friend.
Precisely. Pillar 2 is timing.
Timing. So the specific chapter of life you are currently navigating.
Exactly. This explains why you can spend 40 hours a week right next to a coworker. You have all the proximity, but the relationship doesn't go deep. Your lives simply don't overlap much outside the office walls.
Okay.
The sources offer this great example of a young woman whose coworkers break the ice conversations are all about, like, retirement plans or their married life with kids.
Right.
While her life is focused on navigating career changes and, maybe still enjoying boozy weekends with her girlfriend.
They can be perfectly friendly. They have high proximity at work.
Totally friendly.
Yeah.
But the timing is so mismatched that the connection can only go so deep, as the source puts it.
Or maybe the timing mismatch is rooted in something like financial disparity.
That's another big one.
When one friend can afford spontaneous weekend trips and the other is totally focused on paying down debt or just dealing with chronic burnout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That creates a social gulf faster than any physical distance sometimes. It really requires conscious effort to maintain depth if your life chapters are vastly divergent.
Okay, proximity, timing. What's the third pillar?
Which brings us neatly to pillar 3, energy.
Energy.
This is the simplest truth of all, really, and it's the one we often overthink the most.
Okay.
You either click with some people or you don't. The energy is either on or it's off.
The vibe.
Yeah, the vibe. And sometimes that energy naturally shifts over time as people grow and change. And that's normal.
Ah, okay. So here's where that grip comes back in, right? The mistake is obsessing over what is wrong when the energy shifts.
Yes, instead of just trusting the process and accepting the change. The source mentions actually hating the term best friend.
Really?
Because that label puts way too much expectation and pressure on a dynamic that honestly needs room to evolve or even fade naturally sometimes.
That makes a lot of sense. So the sign of fading energy is when a friendship feels forced.
Exactly. When it requires immense effort and starts to drain you, or conversations just feel forced and awkward, the energy is likely fading.
And we often cling out of fear, don't we? Knowing that the second we stop forcing it, the relationship will simply disappear.
Precisely. Fear of loss, fear of loneliness.
Okay, so if the pressure of the best friend label is destructive, we need a really visceral illustration of that pain of grip. What example does the source give us about how these pillars play out in real life?
The most powerful illustration comes from the host's own story, actually, about their neighborhood friendship group.
Ah.
They had this wonderfully connected, active community, constant barbecues, kids playing together. You know the scene.
Sounds idyllic.
It was. But then, a couple who was already friends with the host moved into a house right across the street from the two core couples in the existing group.
Oh, okay, so closer proximity for them.
Exactly. The host was initially excited, thinking, great, one big, cohesive neighborhood gang.
But proximity won out.
Proximity won. The three families living literally across the street naturally grew closer due to sheer nearness, waving from their porches, planning last-minute dinners easily. And the host, living just a block away, started to feel excluded. And crucially, took that structural change incredibly personally.
Oof. Yeah, I can see how that would sting.
And that personal grievance caused the fatal error. Instead of understanding that proximity was simply dictating the new dynamic.
Which is nobody's fault, really.
Right. The host developed jealousy and resentment. The host admitted feeling resentful, ungenerous, and allowed that negative emotion, that painful grip, to destroy the connection faster than any physical distance ever could.
Wow. So the primary mistake was taking it personally. Expecting to be included always, expecting it to stay easy, expecting it to be like it was forever.
All those expectations. If the host had applied "let them," they would have realized it wasn't a personal attack, it was just proximity, which is often outside of anyone's control, simply doing its job.
Let them. It's like a practice in assuming good intent, then.
That's a perfect way to put it. It's for when friends move,
Mm.
or when they don't text back right away, or when they're prioritizing their new baby or their demanding job, or maybe an aging parent.
Yeah, okay.
You mentally say, let them be distant. Let them prioritize what they need to right now.
It doesn't mean the connection is broken.
Exactly.
No, no.
Just because they are not actively in front of your face doesn't mean you're against them or that the underlying connection has vanished. You are just releasing the energy required to cling.
Okay, so once you've released the grip with let them, what happens if you look around and realize, okay, I've let them, and now I genuinely need new connections?
The flip side. The sources say the focus must shift entirely from external expectation to internal action.
Okay, tell me more.
This is where we stop isolating and waiting for friendship to magically fall out of the sky.
Which it never does.
Never. We see this in the advice given to a struggling college daughter in one source. Give it a year.
Give it a year.
Yeah. She had to constantly put herself out there, join clubs, ask to sit with people in the cafeteria. It took a full year of sustained, often awkward, effort before she finally found her community.
A full year. It's easy to forget that vulnerability is absolutely required here.
Totally. The host admits they forgot this exact advice after moving, isolating themselves for a year.
Oh, wow.
The crucial turning point only came when their adult daughters essentially forced them into action, telling them, go knock on that new neighbor's door.
Oh, that sounds mortifyingly awkward.
Right, that awkward little moment, feeling utterly vulnerable, wondering, has it really come to this? Me basically asking a stranger for friendship? That's often the start.
Yeah.
Building community isn't easy or glamorous. It takes persistent, vulnerable, proactive effort. Let me do this awkward thing.
And the solution relies on what sounds like almost kindergarten-level simple habits, the habit of going first. The sources break this down into actionable, small steps that can accelerate connection.
Yes, and the steps are deceptively simple but powerful. First, compliment people.
Just notice things.
Yeah. Break the ice by noticing and appreciating small details, a piece of clothing, their nail color, even their cool socks. People love to feel seen.
Okay, compliment. What else?
Second, be curious. Ask simple, non-invasive questions. What are they reading? What did they order at the coffee shop? People generally love talking about themselves, and curiosity is a cheap entry point.
Compliment. Be curious.
Third, just smile and say hello. Practice being a warm, approachable person out in the world.
Seems basic, but makes a difference.
It really does. And crucially, number 4, do this without expectation of immediately securing a close friend.
No pressure. Just make the connection.
Exactly. And that's what elevates these simple steps into a sophisticated strategy. These small actions create what sociologists call weak ties, or what the sources call social scaffolding.
Weak ties. Social scaffolding. What are those?
We're talking about the people you see regularly but don't know well. The coffee shop cashier whose name you learn, the person you always see in your elevator, the regular at your gym class.
Okay, so learning their names. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Gregory. And creating those small, friendly, low-effort connections.
That builds that scaffolding. It makes you feel connected to your community and builds a base even before you find those close 200-hour friends.
Right. But if you are actively looking to accelerate those 200 hours, you need to return to that group sport mentality, but for adults.
Yes, look for group classes or events that genuinely interest you. CrossFit, cooking classes, book clubs, volunteering, whatever it is.
Because that ensures built-in proximity and shared interests, which helps with timing.
Precisely. It stacks the pillars in your favor.
And when you click with someone in that environment, you have to go first again, right? Take the connection out of the class.
You got it. Ask for coffee, suggest a walk, or even better, initiate the group events yourself. Start the hiking group. Organize the concert trip.
Stop waiting for the invitations to happen. Start creating them.
That's the let me spirit. The final synthesis is really clear. Mastering adult friendship requires this flexible dual approach.
Okay.
The let them philosophy helps you release the need to cling to relationships that might be fading due to circumstances outside your control. Proximity, timing mismatch, whatever.
It saves you that heartache and resentment.
Totally. And the let me philosophy motivates you to stop isolating, take charge of your social life, and proactively put yourself out there to cultivate new friendships.
So when you say let me, you are acting with the belief that, as the source says, some of your favorite people you haven't even met yet.
Isn't that a great thought? And remember, the source material reminds us that the fundamental connection you have with another person never truly breaks. It's really only proximity and timing that make you lose touch day to day.
You haven't even met some of your favorite people yet. Now, what is one awkward, tiny conversation, a compliment, a question, maybe just a simple greeting,
Yeah.
you are going to initiate today to